Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina coladas.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, you know what it is, don't you? It's hump day! Man, I was thinking, on a hump day, we always need to remember, every once in a while, we might want to give him a little Peter in the afternoon with my good buddy Peter Edmiston from Sports 56 Mornings with CJ and Peter. You know you got Greg and Eli rapping, but now it's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour, Sports 56 Happy Hour with my good friend Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. You know me, John Harden. And yes, Thursday we usually wrap with Isaac Simpson. We had to do a little switcheroo. We got Dan Favale going to join us tomorrow at 2 to break down all the NBA, the entire, from the NBA safety protocol, which is very long and extensive. I will mention today, but I want to bring somebody who understands it completely. Also going to mention a little bit about the NBA Players Coalition, their demands, Avery Bradley, Kyrie Irving, the minority, the majority, will basketball go on, et cetera, et cetera. I'm also going to talk about something that I think is extremely fun. I got Hardwood, which I got some really, really funny stories. I'm going to talk some college sports, but the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award came out. I know all about Nelson Cruz. I know all about Kevin Love, and I'll tell you about all what these people did. I did not know about Titus O'Neil. I learned something about Jason and Devin McCourty and what they've been doing with the NFL initiative, and man, $1.5 billion in education reform, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of great things these people have done. But the WNBA is I talked about it yesterday, which is always so weird to me, how I mentioned, hey, they say that their regular season, 22 games, they agreed to all this. And then this comes out today. And I know who Maya Moore is from, highlights, from the fact that she was a baller at UConn, from then the fact that she won, a couple championships with the Minnesota Lynx. I wouldn't even know who the Minnesota Lynx were if it wasn't for Maya Moore. But in all honesty, outside of basketball, did you know much about Maya Moore?
I do know a little bit about it.
Oh, you do?
She actually has done some prison reform work.
Dude, okay, so you know a lot more than me.
No, I don't know a lot more than you.
Well,
right? I just know about it.
I'm going to, because I got into this, I really read a little bit on it. I found out something that happened just this year in 2020 in March 9th. And again, her story, what she gave up. We're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick. He's going to potentially get a workout with our boy Anthony Lynn out in San Diego. Well, I'm going to always call him San Diego for the Dead Gum Chargers. I think y'all knew who I was talking about. And I think it's a great move. You know why? Because they have this young kid coming in there who don't know his head from his tail. It might not be bad to have somebody like that to take the reins, just to take a lot of pressure, all eyes on him. Give that rookie quarterback a year to basically grow in Anthony Lynn's system, and who knows what happens with him in his future. But, hey, we'll talk about that as well. But the Maya Moore, the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award at 1:30, I'm going to talk about that today. And I'm going to talk about everybody, but I'm going to focus on what Maya Moore did. And I can't believe we're not talking more about this, because it is one of the most impressive things, and the sacrifices that she made.
That's the thing.
That she made, and people aren't talking about it. And when I really looked into it, out of the first league that actually wore a shirt after Philando Castilla, after Alton Sterling, the Dallas 5 police officers who were gunned down by a gunman, they came out with black shirts with Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, and all 5 officers' names in their shields over their jerseys. They said change starts with us. And Maya Moore didn't just say change starts with us. She actually literally put her money where her mouth is. And for some reason, I don't know why she's not one of the most celebrated people. After reading her story, I was just completely dumbfounded, awe-inspired. Wow. And there's a dude named Jonathan Irons out there who owes his literal life to her because she saved Jonathan Irons from a 50-year wrongful conviction. I'll tell you more about that at 1:30. But I will tell you that me and Gabe, we're about to hit the leadoff. 2 o'clock, we got Isaac Simpson. 2:30, Hardwood. But it always feels good because I'm talking with y'all. Thank goodness. We're about to do the leadoff. But why do we get to do the leadoff? Because of my very good friends at MemphisFarmers.com. That's right. You know Chad Gatlin, the man, the myth, the living legend. Any problems with insurance, he's got you. Your car banged up, he got you. You get a speeding ticket, he got you. And guess what? Life insurance, renter's insurance. If you have a beautiful new boat, a lot of people are buying boats right now, which kind of surprised me. Talked last week with somebody who's selling boats. I might be doing a little boat thing maybe coming up. I don't know. But boats are flying off the thing. Did you know boats were flying off the shelf? I guess it's just that time of year, baby. Get on the water and let's go. I would love to, but if you want boat insurance, umbrella insurance, and again, the one that's very important, life insurance. Most of you have it through work. Check it out through Farmers Insurance. It's an amazingly very inexpensive cost if you do it at the right time, and the payout is unbelievable, and it will always give your family and friends a very strong foothold to continue their life. It'll help you rest easy. Check out MemphisFarmers.com, my friend Chad Gatlin, or call it at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. But I'm getting in the box. Gabe Kuhn, I'm ready for the leadoff.
Hump Day! I hope y'all are enjoying your week and you enjoy your hump day. I really, really do. Now I want to start here because the NBA released their health and safety handbook yesterday, and there's some pretty stringent stuff in there. I gotta be honest. You have to get permission to leave. If you do not get permission to leave,
snitch line.
You have to have a 10 to 14 day quarantine, reduction in compensation for games missed, and enhanced testing. And by enhanced testing, they mean they're sticking that big old deep nasal swab where they touch your brain if you do not get prior approval to leave. Now, also they have the snitch line that you just mentioned. Players can call a hotline. I like to call it the D'Angelo Russell line. What did you make of the handbook and all of these rules?
Stop. That was the best dig of the day. The D'Angelo Russell line, the snitch line. I love it. Oh, gosh. Somewhere Swaggy P wishes he heard that. I make of this whole thing one simple thing. It makes a lot of sense. We are in a global pandemic, and for all you people who forgot about the COVID-19, COVID did not forget about y'all. Have you noticed how it's kind of come back with a little bit of a vengeance? And I don't know if you saw this, but dude, did you see those poor 16 friends go to Florida, rent out a whole place, party for a week, and now half of them are like in the hospital and the other half are quarantining themselves going, I wish I didn't go to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it didn't forget about y'all people. So I understand the safety protocols. But you know what it does? It does highlight that how important it is that if these players do go, how realistically important it is that they do stay safe, because we are having, again, an uptick, which is something we do not want. And the one thing I want to remind all y'all is everybody keeps forgetting. There is a percentage of people whose lungs lose 25, if you don't die, like you will lose 25 to 30% of your lung capacity from just getting this illness. And we brought on a lung specialist, 2 weeks ago? And by the time, as you age, just by breathing this crummy air, your lungs already go down. So catching this, and if you're a pro athlete, how bad could that truly be for your future? So again, don't take this so lightly. I understand I'm at work, Gabe's at work, we're telling people to go to work, the U.S. Open is going to work. I do hear people complaining, and I'm sure they're scared of the fact that Queens, New York, basically New York, out of all the places that you were going to travel in this country, and if you were scared of the coronavirus, after seeing Governor Cuomo so much on television, I'd be scared as hell to go to New York. I'm just going to be real.
So, to your point about not wanting to catch it and that 10 to 14 day period where you're going to have to rehab and sort of relax, Von Miller has come out very seriously and said like his lungs are having a really hard time reacting and responding and coming back from when he was sick. But also, I do want to point out the fact that these are stringent rules. These are rules that are going to keep them locked down in that bubble, no doubt. And I could understand, I'm almost positive we're going to see some players that do not want to be subject to this.
Well, that's what I was about to go. So if you look at these things, if this is too much of a risk for you and your family, and you decide that you cannot, I understand. If you want to be a pro and you want to get paid a buku amount of cash, you want to go lock yourself in. I mean, I know like I saw some of the things I thought it was kind of funny. They're like, we'll have activities for the players like ping pong.
Concerts.
Yeah, concerts. I'm like going.
They had DJ sets is what they said. That's funny.
But did you see the one that also just had ping pong? Like, come on.
I wonder if they're going to. Oh, but they say you can't play doubles ping pong.
Yes.
You can only play singles
only
ping
singles
pong.
against the dead gum.
Even though you're touching the ball and the paddle and you're passing off the paddle.
Trust me. Listen.
There's certain things. I understand most of them. But also, I wonder if they're going to open up like Magic Mountain for the guys. I bet if LeBron says, "Hey, open up Magic Mountain for me and let me ride it," they're gonna open it up.
Dude, or the Tower of Terror, or whatever the hell.
I've never been.
I've been
you
on
been?
it. Oh heck yeah, man! You know I got kids like a mug, don't you? You know how broke. It's like one of my credit cards still got like $1,000 on it. I've been
still not paid off for my trip.
I'm trying to pay that thing off for a couple years. No.
All right. Moving on.
Last thing I was gonna say though, the NBA thing, the healthy, all the stuff that you brought about, I did want to remind teams are allowed to bring up to 37 personnel. For each team, no more, no less. Those 37 that come in, those are the only 37 that can. Anybody else is an ixnay on the no-no A. So there's also going to be that power struggle in there about, hey, I'm the king of this team. I want so-and-so. I want my whole family here.
And also, if you get sick, this was the most random fraction I've ever seen. If you get sick and can't make a game and can't get into a game,
you don't get paid.
You get paid. You get deducted 192.6 of what your salary would have been. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. But anyway, we talked about Kyle Shanahan yesterday and his new extension with the Niners. 6 years, like ridiculous extension when you think about how coaches get paid in the NFL. And I just want to ask, his record's 23-25, coming off 1 year. Where he made the Super Bowl. Yeah. I understand that. Really good offensive mind. I think he's done a good job. But has he proven himself enough in these 3 years to get 6 more?
In all honesty, I would have to say because of who I have come to trust very much, and that's a guy in John Lynch who just seems to whatever he touches gold. Look at his the way he's handled players, the way he's handled people, the way he's brought in new coaching. Do you remember where the San Francisco 49ers were before John Lynch took over? They were the worst team in football.
Rotating through coaches.
Period. They were going through coaches like man. I mean, heck, one of their coaches ended up like not even winning a damn game in high school. Mike Singletary, remember that? Like, oh my goodness, it was so bad. But Lynch comes in there, calms them down. 49ers CEO Jed York, he trusts Lynch. Shanahan, he's been in a Super Bowl last year and lost. He was an offensive coordinator in Atlanta when Tom Brady came back and lost. So what I'm basically trying to say is he's been to the mountaintop. He has been this close, and when you're that close, you know somebody is dying to get over that, like cross that threshold. He wants to hold up that Lombardi trophy. You know that he wants it. He wants it to be because of him. I think this is actually a smart one for them because I think he's proven he's a very good offensive mind. I don't know. I know he's what the record stated
23-25. That doesn't tell the story.
I don't care about that doesn't tell the story of the person that he is. And again, I hate to say this because I'm usually against nepotism because I'm like, damn man, because I'm jealous. And I wish my dad was like some like rich super coach and just gave me a job to run like, hey, I own the Gals Cowboys. You want to be the coach, buddy? Hey, yeah, Dad, thanks. Appreciate it. Or, hey, I own a TV set. You want to be a movie star? These would be great. So does this coming from me sound like sour grapes? Hell yeah, it does. Nepotism kind of does bother me. I call his dad like Pete Rose Jr., the only two dudes that I know that like could literally be a spokesman for Tang and never need pain. I mean, like, I'm just not their biggest fans. But Kyle, he has come through and he has gone the route. He has taken the steps. He was, he went from special teams, the OC, started, film, whatever. And, man, cut his teeth and actually proved he's pretty damn good. Without Kyle Shanahan, the Falcons took a hell of a, dip. And when you add Kyle to the 49ers, they went way up. So if you look at that, I'd have to say, in John Lynch, I trust, and I think to myself that Mr. York's saying the same damn thing.
So the 49ers, I will say this. I agree with the extension. I think it's a really good move, especially for a young guy at the beginning of his career. You look at a guy who went 6-10 his first year, 4-12 his second year, and then 13-3 his third year. And,
Dude,
where the 49ers were,
where the
49ers were before he got there was they were honestly
it was Jim
in hell.
Tomsula,
they were in hell.
Yeah.
They were struggling mightily, and I think Kyle Shanahan is the guy for the job. Now, last but certainly not least, this morning the MLB actually had some meetings, didn't they?
You know what though?
What between two people?
Okay, yes, and I can't say names, but I can tell you he makes the very league minimum, and he won most. He was tied for most wins for his team, if you can figure that one out.
Well, regardless. Now,
but he had some bad information, which scared the hell out of me.
I read a report yesterday on CBS Sports by our buddy R.J. Anderson. R.J. Anderson wrote this report. And this was about SNY Andy Martino. Okay,
yes,
SNY's Andy Martino. He said that 6 owners don't want a season. 6 of the owners don't want a season. Now,
he's actually come
that's
out and
okay.
it to believe in the last one he put out earlier. He says he could believe it could be up to half.
So
but
again,
a lot of them don't have the what to
but
say.
well, we'll get to that. This that's okay and all, but they need 75% for owners' approval, right? So if that number goes from 6 to 8, you burst the bubble. There won't be a season. How likely do you think this is to happen?
I think it is very likely because I think the owners are getting what they want, and I hate doing this because it feels like I'm being cheap. I read Andy Martino's. I know who he is. SNY. You can check him out. Mets, Yankees, all that good stuff. He's a Sportsnet New York journalist, baby, and he's all up in baseball like nobody's business, and he knows it backwards and forwards. He's been on the Phillies beat, I believe. But what I'm trying to say is he can paint any rosy picture you want. If you realistically look at the situation and you kind of take a step back, listen to some of the people like Buster Olney who are really close to this joint, and you hear what the players are saying, and then I have a conversation with a man who's like, I'm making the league minimum. Only players that really want to go back are the guys who have these, big guaranteed deals. They're not going to give us this post-season share. They're going to give us this prorated salary, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to go do all this stuff. He's like, I don't want this. He's like, they're cutting a huge division, which they've always wanted to do, is put a divide in the Major League Baseball Players Union. Tony Clark now has the most difficult job he's ever done because the owners they didn't care if they cut their nose to spite their face this year. They feel like they can get new fans. They're going to have a new something.
I think it's clear that a lot of them don't even care to have a season.
They don't even care. That's what I'm saying. The owners don't care to have the season. You know what the owners wanted to do this season? They wanted to cause division in the national, in the strongest union in sports. And they want to come in 2022 and set a salary cap. They want to do all kinds of stuff that the players union never would have fallen for. But right now, if you're Tony Clark and you got an internal players union that has the Bryce Harpers, the Blake Snells, the Mike Trouts, the upper echelon guys fighting with the guys that make up 70% of your damn roster, you're going to have a huge problem. And again, a lot of these guys who don't get paid much, they just want to get year for their service so they can get closer to actually hitting the free agent market. That's all they really want. They just want it to be counted as a year against service. They don't care if they get their little $500,000 because, again, it doesn't really help them the way MLB's salary structure is set up. And MLB owners did exactly what they wanted. They have now got an infight. And Tony Clark, you are screwed, brother. And you know what that means? Baseball fans, you're bleeped because you know what? You're not even in the discussion. Me begging for them to do what's best for the game, that's long gone out the window. You've got a bunch of billionaires who don't give a damn about the millionaires, and they've never cared about the game. They're bottom line men. They want revenue. They want money. And unfortunately, the fans are going to pay. And they truly believe that the fans are going to return when they get what they want, because these are guys who everything they touch, it seems like, turns to gold. But we'll see what happens. I hate to say it. Baseball's never been in this bad of a position. And after my conversation today, I've never just wanted to get off the phone and cry. Like, I don't know if I'm going to play fantasy baseball for like 2 years. How do I get paid from last year's fantasy baseball if we never meet up again? You know what I mean? That's like sticky for me. But you know what? Coming up next, we're going to change the talk a little bit. We're going to talk about the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. We're going to talk about some people who are doing some really great stuff. Kevin Love with mental health. Nelson Cruz with getting ambulances and fire departments into his town. Devin McCourty, $1.5 billion. You got all this stuff. Titus O'Neil, who's a WWE star. Never knew about him rebuilding a school down in Tampa, Florida. You got a lot of people out there who are doing some serious change. But there was one name that I really like when I saw it, Maya Moore. I'm like, how'd she get on here? I guess they had to throw a woman on there, WNBA player, make sure they're doing the right thing, yada, yada. You look into her story, she is not on there for anything. In fact, if she doesn't win this thing, I will be absolutely shocked. Her story is going to come up next. It is inspirational. It is emotional. It is awesome. And you don't want to miss it. Just like I would never touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition. And yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Hi, it's The Herd. We're all faced with new challenges these days. If you need legal help for yours, trust LegalZoom. You want to set up a will, maybe a living trust? How about starting a business as a DBA or an LLC? LegalZoom can help there too. You can start online. Their network of attorneys can provide advice when you need it. And since LegalZoom is not a law firm, you don't get charged by the hour. Visit LegalZoom.com for more information. Their site has it all. Trust LegalZoom.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
Hello, this is your apartment. I need some favors from you. Your cat keeps rubbing against the kitchen island and I can't return the favor. Can you give her extra pets for me? After that, could you bundle your renters and car insurance with Geico? We could save money, and it's easy to do online. And one last thing. Could you leave the TV on during the day? I need to catch up on my soaps.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order. See Casper.com/terms.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
I'm your pusher man. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know who your buddy Johnny Radio is, and I hope by now you know who Gabe Kuhn is. And if you don't know, 67129, why not? That's the text line. How do you join it? Just send 56 JOIN 56 join to 67129. Bing bang boom. Save that thing. When you get a bounce back, you're in like Flynn, and you can text the show anytime you want. Plus, if you want to conversate, 901-360-8255. You can talk with me and Gabe, 901-360-8255, just like my buddy Bill has. Right before we get over to the Muhammad Ali, the Sports Humanitarian Award, and this Maya Moore story, my buddy Bill, the mayor, has called in and wants to talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. What's up, Bill?
What's up, man?
How's life?
Quick for you. Man, you got it. You're so right on. They're trying to break the union, just like they did in '94. And that's when I'll contest it to the day I die. I've played baseball, softball all my life, worked out. I've used steroids. I know guys have used steroids. Steroids is the scapegoat to blame the players. It was the juice ball. They juiced the ball to break the union. They knew the guys were going to go on strike. They were going to play hardball, either lock them out or go on strike. They were going to go on strike to prevent the lockout. But the owners decided to trick them. So what they do, they juiced the ball and brought the juice ball in. Guys were having career years at the beginning of that year. So they were like, well, I don't want to go on strike. I'm having the best year of my life. So all these guys were like, no, we were supporting the strike before, but no, not now. This is my career year. I'm not going to give this up. So they tricked them into it. They basically broke the union. They bowed down to them. Same thing here. They always try to trick them. These guys are like 3 steps behind the owners. And the same thing here. These owners, what I heard the owners don't even want to play.
No, you're right. The owners right now, they've done everything they can. They want to drive this wedge because they know in 2022, the amount of money and all this stuff, they want to drive a wedge in the players' union. They want to basically, it's just absolutely insane. And again, for me, I've talked to you about this. There was a wonderful, I thought, people went out there and they asked LeBron James, I think it was Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Mike Trout. And it was like 98% of people knew who LeBron James and Tom Brady were, and only 41 people could identify and say Mike Trout. That is embarrassing. And this is baseball, and you had an opportunity to be on the one grand stage where you were the number one thing, all eyes on your game, but you decided, nope, I care about the 2022 collective bargaining agreement more than I care about this season and doing what's right for the game. And you had these bottom line owners who are trying to drive a wedge in the Players Association, and that's what they use this pandemic for.
Yeah, they always use anything they can. I mean, they don't care about the game. It's all about money. The owners forever. I mean, it's just a similar thing. George Steinbrenner, even though I hate him as a Yankees owner, but he made a point. He's like, why am I paying this luxury tax? So, for example, the Kansas City Royals, when they're supposed to use that money to go out and sign players to compete with me, but instead they put that money in their pocket and don't use it. Why am I paying them my money to stick in their pocket? That doesn't make me any sense. Why don't I just hire some guys to come play with us, like the Harlem Globetrotters, and just go around the country with us and play baseball instead of paying these owners, paying their salaries for them, and they don't want to do anything. And it made sense. I mean, why you want to punish the guys that are trying their butts, doing the best they can all the time to be the best, and pay these other guys that just want to be owners and collect a big paycheck under the table, don't want to pay players, and they don't care if the crowd show up because they're getting money from that freaking that tax from the teams that are doing great.
Yep.
So baseball's always been screwed over. Ever since they got that exemption for the with Congress, it was just downhill from there. And it's always been a scam. Just like with Curt Flood. I mean, people don't buy because I guess maybe they don't pay attention enough about baseball. But I don't know. You're right, though. You're exactly right when you said that. They're trying to break the union.
And you know what? It's going to break the game, in my opinion. And I think people like me and you we're the ones that are actually going to really hurt at the end. Bill, have a blessed day, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Take
Appreciate
care
it, man.
of the be careful out there in the bush now. That's the mayor out there. He's taking care of everything.
Real quick,
we got
from
breaking
John
news.
Heyman, breaking somewhat. Just according to the players, obviously, Tony Clark
'Cause they're
and
meeting.
Rob Manfred met this morning face to face. But according to John Heyman, he says the MLB and the Players Union are closing in on an agreement to play the 2020 season. This is from the players. Nothing concrete out there at the moment, but this is John Heyman reporting, and usually he is on top of it.
Yeah, it does say they had a positive meeting. But again,
And the deal is expected to be prorated pay and have expanded playoffs. That was sort of going to be part of it regardless.
So my one question is, because the players have 100% said they will not take anything except for a 100% prorated salary. From what I'm looking at, it still says they're only going to give them a 70% prorated salary. So I'm just wondering, does that mean the MLB Players Association that they're going to cave in? I mean, if Heyman believes
Well,
it.
judging by the fact that they said just tell us when and where, they have already caved.
Yeah, it's a very good point. But again, you know what? That also did you know what that did? That put a lot of I think I put a lot of too many eyes on the owners when the players did that. I think that was a very good smart move. But we're also now going to see about the internal organization. Are these guys who are not going to get paid jack and the guys who are going to get paid a lot, are they going to show up there and risk all this, and what's going to happen? It's going to be a wild story. This is going to be a wild ride. This is going to be a wild ride that's definitely not going to end today at the end of my show, and I hope they get baseball a lot sooner than later. And I promise you, I hope that Rob Manfred gets back to that feeling where he's 100%. I hope that I actually get to a feeling where I'm 100%. But again, from everything I've just heard, players are so split, owners are so split, that it just doesn't feel like it's going to get done. But if Rob Manfred and Tony Clark met today, and they left hugging and kissing each other, well, I want to know about it. So thank you very much, Mr. Coon. But I got to tell you something. I got a great story for you, and it's very inspirational. I've told you, everybody knows that the humanitarian award has basically been changed to the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. It's given out this year. The finalists are Nelson Cruz. Of course, the man's played baseball for I don't even know how many years. He's gone back to his hometown. Built a police station, a fire department, ambulances, brought medicine, opened a pharmacy, completely like the area that he grew up in, like literally there was like a lady at the end of the street, and I think you went and saw her if you were sick, and you basically went and prayed. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't, and I think if you got in trouble, I don't think you just like called 911. I think you just screamed, "Help, help." Because, like, the way he was talking about it, he was like, there are no policemen, there are no firefighters. And then he talks about this. Nelson Cruz, think about the jobs he's also created. He's created, firefighting jobs and ambulance jobs. He's brought doctors to that area where there were no doctors, which I find completely insanity like 40 years ago, there weren't any doctors in this area. And I know it was not the most developed country in the world, but damn, just to think that you have to go 100 miles to find a doctor, that was kind of crazy. All the way to the other end of the island or whatever. So Nelson Cruz, great stuff. Kevin Love, I hate to say this, I don't want to take away from this, and I'm proud of Kevin Love. I'm not saying that what he didn't do wasn't so powerful. But I also think that, Brandon Marshall kind of was the first person, and I just didn't like what I saw, that Kevin Love is the one. I mean, no, I'm proud of you, Kevin Love. Maybe in basketball, yes, he is trying to destigmatize mental health issues, but I just think it would be a travesty to not say that, hey, Brandon Marshall was wearing colored shoes, getting fined, and trying to do everything back in the day during the NFL as well to bring, awareness to mental health. Kevin Love has I think, actually reached more people. He's put more money where his mouth is. He's opened up a mental health, facility and things like that, and he has a foundation. So congratulations to Kevin Love. But I just also wanted to mention, don't forget my man Brandon Marshall wearing the shoes back in the day to, also bring attention. And then Jason and Devin McCourty, when they're not winning Super Bowls and stuff and just balling out in the backfield, being twins, Did you see what they did with the NFL? They partnered with the NFL, and you know the what was it? The NFL Players Coalition. Did you hear what they got passed? They pushed for prison reform in Massachusetts. Bang, got that done. Then they also got another bill passed through legislation, and it's $1.5 billion. This has already been passed, and it's going into public education in underdeveloped areas. And they're sending $1.5 billion in money and aid to to pay for teachers, classrooms. So good job to Jason and Devin McCourty. And then of course, I don't know who Titus O'Neil is. Did not know who he was. But I know he's a WWE star. I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't pick him out of a room because I don't watch that stuff. But he is absolutely. There was a school that was destroyed. I don't know if he went to it or what, but he says it's something that has something in his heart, and he went back there and he's rebuilding the entire school. Like he's paying for the whole thing, not the city. Blah blah blah. He's going out there. He's got everything. He's got the workers, and they are. Taking this very underprivileged part of Tampa, Florida, and they're giving a state-of-the-art, gym, state-of-the-art, art center, state-of-the-art computer rooms and library. So it's going to be a beautiful school. Congratulations to Titus O'Neil. But then I'm looking at this Maya Moore story, and then, it caught me off guard so bad. Because I had no idea about this story. Did you know any, like I said, you know a little bit, right?
It's about, she was getting a guy out of prison
Jonathan
who was wrongfully convicted, and also she sat out of the season.
The whole
Correct
season.
me if I'm wrong.
She did. She turned
because of it.
She turned down a $120,000 contract for here. She turned down another more lucrative deal, and she didn't put the price on it, but they get paid for more money overseas. So she turned down about $200,000, at least I would say $250,000.
A huge contract for the WNBA.
A huge amount of money in the WNBA. In the prime of her career, after she's won champions, she's one of the best player in all of basketball. They call her the Invincible Queen. She's her and the Lynx. They were awesome together. But she is, as she said, she's from where Jonathan Irons. I got to tell you all the story. Because it's such a fascinating read. It's so interesting that it took me so far back that I didn't even understand how this woman hasn't been talked about more. But on March 9th, now I want you to understand something. Maya Moore is a young lady. She is from Jefferson City. Jefferson City is also where Jeremy Irons is from. She went back there to see her family and her friends and her cousins, and she had somebody who was doing ministry to the people at the corrections, Jefferson County Correction Center. And the guy just kind of mentions to his cousins, Miss Moore, about, this guy, Jonathan Irons, who's serving a 50-year sentence. They found him guilty when he was 16 years old. The guy's got all the information. There is absolutely, basically, if you look at it, there's no evidence. There's no fingerprints. There's no blood. There's no confession, except for there was a guy who said he confessed to him, but there was no tape and there's no signed confession. And the detective also then later died because he was also dying. It was like the last case he closed, and then he dies. It's horrible. Again, 16-year-old kid who's always said he's never did this. He will admit that he's like, I was not a super saint. I was probably a juvenile delinquent. But, man, he's been a perfect prisoner. He's gotten all these wonderful things, and he's always just been a very nice guy. He's given himself to, the Lord, and basically had to come to the realization that, hey, this is, unfortunately the life that I am here to live. Unfortunately, nobody cares about Jonathan Irons. They get Jonathan Irons. When I talk about being born poor, we're talking about dirt poor, like dirt poor. And, again, this person's married, miles away over in a different, anyway, the whole thing is just, it doesn't look good. And Maya Moore is just this lady in the WNBA. She hears this story about Jeffrey Irons, and she finds out that it was like when he was convicted, it was when she was, back playing, high school basketball. And then she looks at where her life is, and it's been over, like 12, 15 years or whatever. And she's looking back going, wow, all the stuff that I've done. And she looked at all the evidence and she said, this man has been stuck in prison for his whole life I've gone and won 2 national championships or 2 WNBA championships. I've traveled the world. I've made plenty of money. I've now got a house in Atlanta. Her and she's like, I don't like to live alone. Her and her mother, and she's got a couple of her family members. They live in this house in Atlanta together. They're a very tight-knit group, and she is literally getting ready for her season. And then she just says, it's the year that you have the Philando Castilla, the Alton Sterling, and you had the Dallas 5 officers who were murdered, and they wore that shirt. There was a little bit of, that was actually, and they said that change started with them. Then the NBA goes on to wear some of the shirts that actually was started by the WNBA, which is, I didn't know that either. Again, because they're not literally giving near as much. We don't focus the light on the WNBA nearly as brightly as the NBA, and we also know that. But this story, how this thing slides under when this is one of the best stories I've ever seen, I just don't understand. So my man gets, he gets convicted in 1998. She's out playing basketball, doing her thing, and then she's sitting there, and it was just in 2019, she gets together, gets basically a GoFundMe thing, goes and sees the district county police officers, and goes down in there and says that, hey, what do we need to do to fix this? She gets, gives her money, hires the best attorney. I mean, her money, by the way, goes and sees, first of all, she also went and saw Mr. Irons in jail, listened to his story when he convinced her that, unequivocally that he shouldn't be there. That's when she just, went and told her team that, hey, I have a calling that, I've lived this great life, but I have a calling, and I would feel that if I don't go and fight for Jonathan Irons, then who else is going to fight for him? And she said, and she told the coach, I just have a feeling from God, and I just have to do this. And she's never gone and gotten anybody out of jail. She's never done anything like this before. But she gives up literally $250,000 in the prime of her career to say that I can't, I don't feel comfortable going and playing a game when I know a guy from a city that I could have been, anybody, one of my family, somebody just liked him, could have basically snatched him up in 98 or me and thrown me in, jail just like him. So she basically gave the rest of the last couple years of her, the last year of her life, she spent to getting Jonathan Irons out. On March 9th of this year, did you know that the judge finally overturned the conviction?
I saw that.
I didn't know about. How come I'm finding out?
This was
a
few. How many months ago was this?
Dude, don't make me count. 3 was March.
3 or 4.
What are we in?
Yeah.
April, May. Was it
We're
June?
in June.
So 3 more months.
3. There you go.
I'm on
you
fire.
You can count.
Hey, I'm on this. So, but I didn't realize that it was such a big story. And then I went back and looked at it, and again, the woman just basically says, she says, I wasn't certain that I could do anything, but I was certain that I had to try. And that is, a lot of people don't, again, we're talking about, she had a $120,000 contract with the Lynx. That's the highest you can make in the NBA, by the way. She had another contract with the team overseas. She says to them, I'm sorry, no, I'm turning down all this money. Then she signs money over to a lawyer that's her own personal money, and says, I have to do this because if I don't fight for him, who will? And if I don't, I don't know anybody out there, or I don't know that many people out there who are literally not just going to sacrifice their best years of their life when they're one of the best female basketball players on planet Earth. Heck, they were comparing her to Jordan when she was young. She was that good. Winning championships, tearing it up. But when you talk about a heart, Muhammad Ali, I love Kevin Love and Nelson Cruz and McCourty. I love Titus. I love all these people. But I don't know anybody that's really just gone out there and said, you know what? There is nobody in the world fighting for this man, so I'm going to make it my duty.
And it's a different amount of sacrifice that
totally. And she
decided to take on herself.
Me.
She took it on herself, which is just something you don't see all that often.
And she did not say, hey, all eyes on me. She wasn't, it wasn't a protest. She didn't do anything except for say, dadgummit, sorry to her, and apologize to all of her teammates, which was also very kind. Did you hear about how kind her teammates were? They were, supportive, and they were like, hey, we love going and winning championships with you, But you know what? That's why we call you the Invincible Queen, because the fact that you're going to go fight for another man's life when you've never even done something like this just shows that you're a different type of woman. And I just want to say, Maya Moore, I can't believe I didn't know much more about you until this morning. And if you don't win the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award, then you are robbed, because you put your money where your mouth is, and Jonathan Irons is out today free because of you. Now, I'll be back in 2 shakes. I want to remind you, without who? Chad Gatlin, our really good friend at where? MemphisFarmers.com. You know him. That's right. Do you know the number? Can you say it with me? What is it? 901. That's right. 235. Come on. Do you not know it, Gabe?
1176.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so proud. So what is it now? It's 901-235-1176. Or you can just go to MemphisFarmers.com. And everybody, when you see Daniel Gatlin, don't worry about a thing. Just remember, his friends call him Chad. This is Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallow and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Happy hump day on Sports 56 Happy Hour. You got Johnny Radio, and how fitting is it a Tiger lineman in the house as always, Gabe Kuhn, when you actually got a lot of Tiger news. And don't worry, Isaac Simpson is coming on at 2 o'clock to break down everything from Penny. He's going to be talking with Antonio Anderson. We've got ribbon cutting, and what else we got? Oh, yeah, the cancel the man, that's the bad one. That's the one where I'm going to have to get into Isaac with.
That's the no fun one.
Southern Heritage Bowl has been canceled.
But there's more Memphis sports news today than we've had in quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah, that is it's a good point.
So the ribbon cutting was this morning for the indoor practice facility.
Finally, by the way, Dr. David Rudd, champion.
$11.7 million project, done, finally. Again, I told this on middays, but I was being recruited with the promise that
would
was
be
going to
done
be in
your year. Yes.
No, they said it would be done by the end of my freshman year.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
your
so
first
it's like
year.
it was. Clearly that didn't happen.
Funny.
Clearly that didn't happen. But they did their ribbon cutting this morning. Proud of them, man. It looks good. Like I said, $11.7 million. Laird Veach, Silverfield, and J.J. Russell were there. Obviously, Tiger linebacker, and they got that done.
Heck, you also got a couple Tigers. They picked up a couple of defensive backs, by the way.
A lineman who was committed to LSU
yep,
as well.
That's what I was about to say. A baller that was.
Well, the recruiting's speeding up right now.
It really
recruiting
is
speeding up.
And they're grabbing some of those guys that kind of feel like they would be the guys that would be really, really competing at LSU. And like, hey, come on
there
down
is
here,
a
you
clear
can start.
But there's a clear difference in recruiting now that they have that indoor and they have Ryan Silverfield in there. It's a clear difference in recruiting from now and when I got here, right? I was like a 2-star, no-star recruit. Now they're getting baseline 3 stars and getting some 4 stars sprinkled in there.
And the way, when Fuente was recruiting you, the difference between what it was when you got here till Norvell till Silverfield. Silverfield was here with you on the line for the whole time.
Not the whole time, no.
He wasn't. Who was your main recruiter?
My main recruiter was Barry Odom, of all people.
Really?
Yeah, sure was.
No kidding. Did you like Barry a lot?
love Coach Odom. Love
Man,
Coach Odom.
Did you think it was
really
going to happen
dude.
like that in Minnesota? I mean, in
Missouri? Hey, man, I thought they could have given him another year. It was kind of a tough situation he took over. A lot of turmoil. Gary Pinkel, a legendary coach, stepping down amid a bunch of racial stuff going on. And
That's
he
where
had
I
to
was
take
about
over.
to ask you. Why would you want to replace Gary Pinkel with all the racial tension that was going on in Columbia, Missouri at the time? It was absolutely, I think, just a hornet's nest he walked into. But he actually did a pretty decent job.
He
and
did.
Look who Drew Lock's doing.
8-4, 6-6, and it's just like, all right, he's gone.
Peace. Have a good one. Ole Miss also signed an extension with Mike Bianco, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
Yeah.
16-game winning streak before they had to stop the season. But bad news. Southern Heritage Classic is canceled for this year. Jackson State, Tennessee State is supposed to be on September 12th, 31st edition. It will be no mas. Not happening this year in the Liberty Bowl, which is sad, man. It's always a great event, brings a lot of people out, and brings a lot of money to the city.
Well, the other thing that's kind of bothering me, have you seen all the players that it seems like are coming down with the coronavirus that are doing the voluntary workouts? We had a couple more at Texas.
You hear about the one at Kansas State?
No.
The one at Kansas State, one of the most interesting things, he came in late. Okay, they had tested all their guys' baseline, and he came in late, so they let him work out with the rest of the team right after he tested, and they didn't have the results, and it turned out he had it while he was working out with all the players.
And
so
just
K-State,
man.
They're probably going to have to quarantine a whole bunch of players now.
Well, I thought you would find this fascinating before I get into Isaac Simpson. And, again, we got a lot of Tiger news on the other side. Antonio Anderson, we got to talk about what him and Penny are going to be talking about. We also got to talk about a few new recruits. There was a ribbon-cutting ceremony. But I want to ask Gabe real quick. Did you see the article about are the people who are at most risk of COVID-19 not offensive and defensive linemen?
Because we're morbidly obese or whatever the word is.
No.
They are because there's a lot of weight issues,
this
no
is
question.
Not Wolken. Was it Wolken who?
Wolken wrote the one about severely obese.
I think he had
linemen.
the best remark.
It's like,
I've
please
ever
don't
seen.
call us severely. You call us fat before you call us severely obese. But
man.
regardless, I think yes, because they're big dudes in general have high blood pressure. That's just how that works, and that's something
that talks about
that's something that will happen, and asthma as well is something that happens. So, I mean, yes, absolutely, but you got to understand these are young, strapping men that are 20 18 to 22 years old. And then in the pros, like, you're not exceeding 32 as an O-lineman anymore. So it's like, you look at this, and I think, yes, they're at more risk than most of the football population.
But this is not talking as much about your issues of size. This is talking about the position you play.
Oh, close.
The proximity.
Yep, that is true.
The fact that you hit each other, the
Very
way
true.
they tackle. All the basically the
hand-to-hand
body fluids,
combat
hand-to-hand.
every single
Like,
play.
They were saying that there is no way to protect an offensive lineman, period. Like, quarterbacks, they get a little protection if you get sacked or whatever. Running backs are basically, bleeped. But offensive linemen hit on every play and are in a confined.
There's sweat, spraying around everywhere,
So
spit, everything.
There was an article that basically said, parents who have offensive linemen, I know you got to be freaking out because COVID-19 is dangerous for everybody, but especially our offensive and defensive linemen, the big men. Now, we'll be back in 2 shakes. Isaac Simpson coming up next right here on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Hi, it's The Herd. We're all faced with new challenges these days. If you need legal help for yours, trust LegalZoom. You want to set up a will, maybe a living trust? How about starting a business as a DBA or an LLC? LegalZoom can help there too. You can start online. Their network of attorneys can provide advice when you need it. And since LegalZoom is not a law firm, you don't get charged by the hour. Visit LegalZoom.com for more information. Their site has it all. Trust LegalZoom.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
At Advance Auto Parts, we take the guesswork out of your oil change so you can get to work. Our experts will help you find the right oil, the right filter, at the right price every day. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol Edge, or Pennzoil Platinum with a qualifying premium oil filter for $33.99. Plus, get a free remote control car with purchase of 5 quarts of Mobil 1 after rebate. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to memphisfarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price, Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com or call 901-235-1176.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
We got to get that fixed. It's 4 times now officially, isn't it? I shaved today, baby. I'm looking fine as can be. 21 Jump Street. Come on, you know this.
You shave, you look younger than me, man.
I know. I think it was funny when we and you went to have lunch one day, and they carded me and not him. And it was after I shaved, and you were just laughing. I'm like, yeah, I'm 20 years older than this guy, at least. Oh, Lord have mercy. But my good friend Isaac Simpson, you know him. He is the man who covers the University of Memphis, all of Tiger Athletics, all of this city. He covers the Grizzlies. He loves the Cowboys, but he does everything for Rivals. Check him out at Isaac_Rivals. He usually joins me every day at 2:30. That like Thursday.
Every Thursday,
I'm sorry. Every Thursday at 2:30. It's like clockwork. But today, there's so much going on at the University of Memphis. They had the ribbon cutting ceremony. You have, basically Antonio Anderson's meeting with Penny Hardaway. What's going on with that? So I was like, yo, Isaac, I need a favor. And he's like, man, anything for your peeps. I got you. Anything for you. And that's just how kind he is. He is the best person. He's got Memphis wrapped up. So make sure you check out Isaac Simpson. And it's literally at Isaac_Rivals. And he joins us right this minute. Isaac, how's life?
Man, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm doing really, really good. And I will have to say, I don't know if you caught anything earlier. I've been really bad. Baseball, we haven't had any baseball this year. It's been so depressing. And then just the way they've been fighting back and forth has been breaking my heart. Hopefully, Rob Manfred and Tony Clark really did have a good meeting, and hopefully these owners aren't just trying to drive a wedge between the Players Association for the 2022 CBA like I think they are, and we will have baseball. But, man, what an opportunity they missed out on because they're the most socially distant game that you can play. And, again, nobody even knows who Mike Trout is. You could have been front and center, and the whole world could see you right now, and they'd actually know who you might be.
Yeah, I definitely think they missed a big opportunity, a big window, because, like you said, I mean, baseball just isn't what it once was. I mean, you got stars like Mike Trout. The average person doesn't even know who that is. And with such a lack of sports right now, I mean, if baseball was on, I think a lot of people outside of just your normal baseball fans would be watching it, and I think they're just missing that opportunity now. Even if they come back, I think it could be in the midst of the NBA could be going on, and I think that kind of takes the luster off. So they missed a big opportunity. I think Manfred just really blew this thing because they really had an opportunity to have a spotlight on them, and now they're going to miss out on that.
Man, I couldn't have said it any better than you. I think they totally missed this thing. Now, I will say one thing. Tomorrow I'm having Dan Favali on at 2 o'clock. We're going to be talking about the whole thing with the NBA Players Coalition, what their demands are with Avery Bradley and Kyrie Irving. Then we're also going to be talking about the NBA safety protocol, what they're all setting in. And the reason I bring this up is because, I mean, when you look at the NBA safety protocol, it is serious, man. They're like taking this COVID-19 thing serious. So I wanted to kind of transfer what the NBA is putting out there and basically showing like, hey, if you're coming to play, you're in this bubble, you leave for no other reason, 39 personnel only from each team, where we're testing every other day, all this good stuff, and then we're going to start on this day. So you see the safety protocols for COVID-19 as serious as they are. I ask you this because today, we see that the Southern Heritage Classic, by the way, has been canceled. Yeah. And I wanted to ask somebody who is so close to the Tigers, to college football, to college basketball, to the college scene, Do you think with the fact that we're finding out a bunch of Texas, linemen now have COVID-19, a bunch of these guys working out, seems like the Big 12 is one of the conferences is getting hit the hardest, or maybe they're just the loudest. You've heard some of the Big 10. You've heard the crazy thing Ohio State had its players sign. They said it wasn't a legal document. It was more of a pledge, which is BS, to basically give them, hey, if you get sick with COVID-19, that's stupid. I want to ask you, do you truly believe, before we get into the Tiger stuff, that, college football and the NCAA are going to go off this year?
Man, it's tough. It's tough to say. I mean, there's so many different opinions out there. There's a lot of people think, we'll be completely out of this thing by the fall. That the numbers are better, but now the numbers are going back up. And like you said, we're seeing athletes from NFL players, from college football players, like you said, Texas, a lot of guys coming down with the virus. It's tough to me to see how you can make this work, especially when you're looking at college sports. You're talking about so many people, so many teams involved with this thing, and you might have one team that's hit hard. Their entire defense or secondary, per se, could be out with COVID. And how do you kind of make that work? I think with the NBA, there's more money for testing and things that they kind of do. But when you come to college athletics, it's kind of hard to kind of be cohesive with that and kind of make that work. So I'm kind of skeptical. I know a lot of people are optimistic, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But looking at it, I mean, we're only talking about we're middle of June now. A couple months from now, we're starting up, and you got to have practice and stuff before then. I just find it hard to find a way that they can make that work for 2 months from now. Like, I hope I'm totally wrong and hope I'm totally off base, but man, I honestly have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I'm getting a little bit more worried. I honestly was feeling, with just the other day, I had such an optimist feeling. You had Governor Cuomo come out saying U.S. U.S. Open tennis match in New York's going down August 31st, September 13th. They're not going to have fans, but it's going to be on TV. We talked about last week, hey, you need to get your football tickets this minute, because once right now, we can't promise we're going to have individual game tickets. If you are a fan and you want to see the Tigers play, get your season tickets today, because only season tickets holders are going to be able to go. You've had, Gordon Gee saying that he's going to be watching especially some of the protests and see how the coronavirus, because then they started talking about how they didn't want to sell just 50% of tickets, maybe 70, 80, heck, 100% if they could. But then, you know what? Now with this week coming out, I'm hearing that they're meeting up and talking about to go back into where they have only season ticket holders. Like, that whole excitement seems like it's kind of come back down because of the fact that if you really look at the thing is, we have not really gone up and gone back down like we're supposed to. We've gone up and plateaued. Yeah. And that's kind of the problem is, again, the plateau. And the scary part is we're talking about our children. The last thing parents want to do, just so a college can save face and you can play, college sports. Yes, playing college sports is your dream. But the last thing you want to do is play, make your children the guinea pig for the rest of the world. Hey, is it safe to go out? And I look at college linemen, and on the defense and the offensive side, there's nobody who puts themselves in graver danger because of proximity of each other, and then also they're just basically health risk.
Yeah, and again, to go back, just kind of like you, if you had asked me this a week and a half ago, I was a lot more optimistic than I am now. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that happened over the last week that kind of got me going back in a different direction. But yeah, man, I've seen stuff where they're talking about making possibly the athletes sign waivers that they're going to play.
They did that at Ohio State, Isaac, and it was that's what I was saying. Yeah. It's so unfair. They really actually did that, and they told the parents, which made me want to vomit, hey, don't think of it as an illegal document. Just think of it as a pledge to try to keep your kid from going to a keg party or whatever. No, it's a legal document that says if you get coronavirus, Ohio State doesn't have to pay for your medical expenses. Yeah, they're not liable. That's BS.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy to ask kids for that, especially when you think about these athletes, and we always go back to these athletes not being paid for their services, and you just it's just kind of a tough situation, and for them to ask them to sign something like that, I think it's ludicrous.
I do too.
If I was a parent of an athlete like that, I mean, I was like, this is BS, man. I mean, I'm not signing this thing. I mean, it's a tough situation. And then, like you said, man, in football, look at the linemen, man. You going one-on-one with guys all game long. I mean, it's tough, man. Like I said, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they find a way to get this together. I hope as a world, as a country, we kind of get this thing under better control than it is right now. But just looking at the current landscape, man, I'm just not as optimistic. I know some people are, and we'll see how it plays out, but things aren't looking good to me right now.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Listen, I am trying to basically just talk the news, tell people what's going down. I am not trying to be a person that is a doomsday specialist.
Yeah, a lot of people get upset when you.
Yeah, I don't want to upset anybody out there. I just want to tell you that, like we had Florida. What was it? Ron DeSantis had to go out on national television and said out of 500 airline
half of the people at the airport.
It was over half, I believe.
Over half, yeah.
Yeah, like 261 out of 500. Yeah. That's not good, by the way.
No.
And think about the amount of people they run into.
I mean, yeah, I know. So that lets you numbers. The numbers are even higher than what they are because there are people out here that aren't getting tested, that are asymptomatic, that probably have it. I mean, we don't even know what the real numbers are. And I mean, like I said, I've said this on Twitter yesterday. I think a lot of people are kind of trying to pretend that this thing is over with, and I don't think it's over with at all. I think we're in for a second wave of this, and a lot of people get upset, like you said, when you kind of say anything negative about it, but it's just being real.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be real, but man, they get mad as hell. Like, shut up. No. Listen, again, if you have children, I'm just trying to ask you a true question. Would you find it fair if your son or daughter was listen, and I'm just being real, they're free labor. We're talking about the billions of dollars, the millions of dollars that the coaches and the players make, the NCAA is going to make. Yes, you want to get your kid to the NFL level, but what is it? 2% of NCAA athletes become professional athletes? Think about that. 2%. It ain't a whole lot. And then you actually have the audacity to ask them, hey, you're going to be the guinea pig for our nation. Now, I also want to make sure that you and your family sign a waiver because, God forbid, you get sick, we ain't paying for it.
Yeah, we ain't paying for it, yeah.
That to me is about that's the most like it's so crazy I can't even think straight. I just feel like I'm losing my mind thinking about it. Like, are we in the United States, like where you could actually ask a kid's family to do that, and then if they don't sign it, you won't let them come play football for you or whatever? I mean, it's just like it's just that's one of the things that's wrong with sports. But now I need to get into Memphis with you. I'm praying we have a season. I hope we get a cure. I know that they've said they found like a new treatment, that's some steroid that they can give you that brings down your immune system for people who get on this thing. But listen, we've got all kinds of things up and down. I really hate to say this, but until we get basically like a cure for this bad boy, it's going to be, keep your fingers crossed and pray it doesn't get bad for our athletes, our businesses, the rest of the nation. That's just the way it is. And I hate that we're putting our kids out front. But for Memphis news, I've already told you, because of COVID, they have canceled the Southern Heritage Classic.
Hey, that's big.
I was going to say, do you know how big? A lot of people don't realize how big that is in this city.
I mean, that is huge. When I was shocked when I saw that come across the wire this morning. I mean, that especially made it a couple of months out. I'm kind of surprised that they went ahead and made the decision. I guess since it's a singular event, I guess it's easier to cancel when you're talking about something like a whole season or anything like that. But I mean, that's a huge event. I mean, that brings a lot of money into the city. You have a lot of people coming in from out of town, alumni.
You wouldn't even know how much. I was shocked when I saw these numbers, man. It's crazy how much Memphis is going to lose, how much money this brings for the entire city, the Liberty Bowl. It got, by the way, this would have been, I think the 32nd. I mean, this has been going on again. I mean, this is historic. And the fact that this is being canceled, it is it's huge for this city, and I hate to say it, but there are many people who don't know much about an HBC university who are listening, and they're like, have maybe never even been to the Southern Heritage Classic, and they don't even realize how it's going to economically impact the entire city.
Yeah, I mean, it brings so much revenue in. Like you said, I mean, because a lot of that is a lot of people. I mean, there are people here in Memphis that go to the game, obviously, but there are a lot of people that travel in for that game from all over the country, alumni, and the money that they're going to lose for concessions at the Liberty Bowl. I mean, that's a big time loss. Again, I'm sure a lot of people out there probably don't understand, have never been to an HBCU game or even think about any of their games or anything like that. But
you want to know?
it's a big loss.
I'm going to tell the people right now because I actually know the number, and I was going to play the guessing game, but I don't even want to do that. I just want to tell people it brings every year annually for September 10th to 12th is about the average for a weekend to the Bluff City, $25 million in revenue. Think about what I just said. You have 70,000 fans who congregate, fill up restaurants, fill up hotels, and spend an average of $25 million annually. And I'm just telling you, that's going to be wiped out. I know there's business leaders in this city who are kind of freaked out about this. And again, this is just one of the first things that scares me because I've already seen them see a lot of NCAA events canceled. Football, it's basically everybody's been saying, no, we're going to do it. But when they say the HBCU and the Southern Heritage Classic is done, and you're looking around going, what? Wow, that's really big for this city. And the fact that this is canceled, and it's not canceled for any other reason, no protest, no nothing. It says for the safety, and we are canceling because of the coronavirus. That's it. We want the safety for our fans and our student athletes, period. We know we're going to lose a lot of money, but we couldn't believe we could pull this off safely. And if they're going to go out there, admit that, when's that coming down the pipeline for other events?
I mean, yeah, especially this early. I mean, we're still a couple of months out. I mean, that shows you how serious this is. And if you see, again, when you go back to the initial, when this first came out, when it became real when the NBA and canceled their season. This is kind of that same thing.
The Gobert thing kind of woke a lot of people up.
Yeah.
But now the Southern Heritage Classic being canceled, baseball being the way it is, this for me is the first time. Today is the first time I've had an uneasy feeling about the NFL and college football. I have a better feeling about the NFL. But, man, after reading that the Southern Heritage Classic is canceling for no other reason but the coronavirus, now I'm saying, what else is coming down the pipeline? This bad boy, is September 12th, I mean, this is scheduled way out, and they're canceling it. They don't feel safe. Again, I think a lot of other things are going to be canceled.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that's where we're headed. And, again, every time you say anything like that, you have people tweeting back at you, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about.
People yelling at me.
Over
yeah.
It's crazy. So, but just being real, man.
News,
just
man.
Looking at the facts. So it is what it is.
Well, I also got to keep speaking of the facts and Memphis facts. And, man, what is going on, man? Mike Miller, he's got a busy life. He's done a great thing. I'm so happy with all that he did here. We couldn't ask for a better person to be with Penny in these first couple years and help him recruit and everything. But I want to know who's going to fill his shoes, and what are you hearing?
Man, Antonio Anderson, man, the beloved Tiger from the 2008 championship team. I think a lot of people, when you look at him, you look at the team. We always talk about Derrick Rose, CDR,
Chris
Joey
Douglas,
Dorsey,
Robert
Dozier, but Antonio Anderson was the glue.
Yes, he was.
That held that team together. I mean, he could do pretty much everything out there on the floor, man, and has continued to be an ambassador for this program from afar. I know he's coaching at his alma mater, Lynn English High School up there in Massachusetts. Back-to-back state champions, man. So he's doing his thing.
I didn't know that. Hold on, he's a back-to-back state champ.
Wow. Last 2 years, 19 and 20, won the state championship up there. So he's interviewing with Penny this afternoon, man, and I would love to see it. I know Trey Draper is another former Tiger name that I've kind of heard. So, I mean, those are two guys that I would love to see in here. Because, I mean, you look at Antonio Anderson, and hiring a guy like that is fantastic because of the passion that they have for the program. They already understand the market.
He knows
from
the city,
being here,
too, baby.
Knows the city. That's what I'm saying. So, I'm happy to see that. And I know he's excited about it because, again, he's continued to follow this program. Some guys don't, but he's been vocal about his thoughts on his basketball program at the university. He has a passion for it, and I think he'd be fantastic for Penny. And he knows the game of basketball. I mean, he has one of the highest basketball IQs that I've seen. The guy knows the game of basketball. I think it would be a home run hire if they could bring in Antonio Anderson.
I like it, and I got to remind a lot of people, because like you said, everybody knows Derrick Rose went number one, became the MVP, yada, yada. Chris Douglas Roberts, CDR, was just like the cool dude on the
All-American.
team. Joey Dorsey had the guns and had probably some of the funniest moments throughout that run. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's laughing.
David and Goliath, man.
And then Robert Dozier was like just kind of slick. But you're exactly right. Out of any person that you would have called the glue of the team, you throw that guy on, he's gonna DM up. He's gonna get you rebounds. He's gonna get you assists. He's gonna get you steals. He's gonna do all the dirty work that you need done. And that was Antonio Anderson, and he was such a big part. And I think the fact that I knew he was up there coaching. I didn't know he won 2 state championships, but I know he's not Mike Miller. He is not Mike Miller. He didn't have the same type of professional career. He can't call probably LeBron, but he did go undrafted, but he did get on, he grabbed on, I think, with the Bobcats and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is he's been through the league. He knows the developmental league. He knows all that. He also knows what it means, to get your education, to, get to be a basketball player and a man. So that's what I'm trying to talk about is like, not every single person is going to become a pro athlete. No. And you have to have those glue guys. And it feels like almost having a guy like that, a glue guy who's a coach too. I don't know, man. I kind of wonder. It almost feels like it might be the recipe for a perfect coach.
I think so. I mean, Mike Miller is great. Like you said, take nothing away from that.
Love
NBA
Mike.
champion, everything that he's done. Great ambassador for this city. But I think
let it fly.
Yeah, I think Benny has it covered as far as recruit. I think that kind of speaks for itself in his track record. So I think they're good there. I think Antonio Anderson is a guy. I think the guys on the team and players, I think they're going to love it. I mean, he's a guy that's going to demand their best, but he's also a guy that'll be cool with them and kind of hang with them. Still
get their
young
respect.
Enough to kind of
young enough.
Respect
yeah,
them.
That's a good point. So, in all honesty, what is Antonio? 35, maybe 34?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
yeah. He'll still be able to. He's not like me. He's more like you. he can relate. But no, I think it'd be a great one. But I wanted to ask you because I do have people texting and asking me, what is it? Is it like, do you think Antonio Anderson is the guy? People are asking me, what do you think though about Trey Draper? A lot of people don't think of Trey necessarily as much as they do think maybe his family and the time that he spent when he was on the team as much as Antonio Anderson. But who do you think would be better? Who do you think is going to get it and why?
I love Trey. Me and Trey talk all the time, and he's down at IMG now. Again, another guy that continued to trumpet this program, and I mean, he knows the Memphis scene, the high school scene here in Memphis. I mean, he would be a fantastic hire as well. So I don't think you can go wrong either way. A lot of people don't look at him the same as Antonio because he was a walk-on, didn't play a lot when he was here at Memphis. So it's kind of a different situation. But I think as far as being a basketball coach, being young, a guy can get in there, work out with the guys and things like that, I think it'll be fantastic. And I know a lot of the guys know him, so they would like it as well. So I know he's close with Les Quiones. Quiones was down at IMG as well. So it would be, I think either way it would be great. But again, I mean, I think those are two great choices. I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Yeah, I was going to say they're two totally different in styles and people and, and basically education and accreditations almost even like, I mean, my man Trey's got a master in, sports administration. Yeah. I know that. Sports business. I know that Antonio Anderson, like you said, has been coaching, but also you mentioned IMG. How big is it that Trey is down, working at IMG?
Yeah, that's big too because, I mean, IMG has 2 or 3 kids on that roster every year that are high D1 level players. So I think his connection with those guys helps as well. Because I mean, I know behind the scenes he works with these guys. Again, Lester Quiones, I think he was a big part of telling Lester about Memphis and what goes on, what kind of person, let alone coach Penny is. And I think he played a big part in getting Lester Quiones here. And I think him having that connection with those guys at IMG, I think you can't take that for granted either. I think that would be big. For him coming in. So again, I think either way, I think you're hiring 2 great guys. But not even talking about what they would do on the floor as coaches. I think 2 great men. I think you'd be bringing in to the program. So 2 great choices again. Either way, they go, I think it would be a fantastic hire.
I think it absolutely. I like either one of them. We'll see. They're getting a little traction. Antonio Anderson's meeting with my man Penny. We'll see what's going down with Trey. But that's my man Isaac Simpson. Follow him at Isaac_Rivals. That's at Isaac_Rivals. Also check him out on TSR Live. He hosts that bad boy. And also remember, this is very, very important. Okay. He usually joins me every Thursday at 2:30, but with all this stuff going on, we had to kind of scoot him up today because there was a lot going on, and I even didn't get to one of the main reasons I brought you on. There was a ribbon cutting. Tell me about how big that is real quick for this football program.
Man, it's tremendous. I mean, you go back 6-7 years ago, man, you couldn't even imagine anything like this would be going on to have a state-of-the-art facility like that. I mean, imagine the recruit tool that is and how much that can enhance these guys as far as the equipment and stuff that they have at their disposal. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I can't even imagine it's a real day for this program and for their administration over there at University of Memphis. So shout out to them, man. Big day to have that IPF jumping off, man. I'm excited for those guys over there.
Yeah, and I know Gabe was promised that he was going to get to see it. He never did, but I am so glad that going forward, Ryan Silverfield and these young men have it because they are recruiting different guys. They've got a couple other guys to commit. Looks like Ryan Silverfield's got that thing going in the right direction. Heck, the Unity Walk. Did you check any of that bad boy out?
Yeah, I thought that was tremendous. And one thing we kind of talked about real quick about guys testing positive, University of Memphis, nobody from the whole football department tested positive, so I think that's good for them.
Hold on. Not one person?
Not a single person for the football department tested positive. They all got tested and all came back negative. So that's big for them. And real quick, man, big commitment today, defensive tackle Cameron Jackson, 6'5", 265 pounds, former LSU committed to Memphis today.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, Ryan Silverfield took the baton, man. He's still running with it, doing great things over there.
Man, he's got a big man from LSU, grabbed a couple of defensive backs. Silverfield really is blowing it up over there. He is killing it. Now, I know he's going to continue to do it. I know one thing, one person's going to continue to kill it on the trail of the Tigers. He's got basketball. He's got football. He's got the Memphis scene on lockdown. That's at Isaac_Rivals. Check him out. He does all the work. He's on Twitter. He's the best in the business, and he usually joins me every single Thursday at 2:30. Thank you for helping me out and coming in today, Isaac, and letting people know what's going down, my friend.
Will do, man. Talk to you guys next week.
That's my good buddy, Isaac Simpson. We are late for a break. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to MemphisFarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at MemphisFarmers.com or call 901-235-1176. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Hi, I'm Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Five-Ash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. NBA players are at the whiskey bar thinking to themselves, damn, do I want my money or do I want to get locked in this bubble playing ping pong with LeBron James for the next couple months? Or like whoever you just can't stand. Like maybe you love LeBron.
So remember the bubble we talked about how the marijuana, they can they're not getting tested for it?
Yeah.
In the safety handbook, they said it's highly frowned upon.
By the way.
So there's that.
Can I ask you something? If we're fighting COVID-19, why are we not going to be honest? At least there's a doctor out there who is saying, and I'm just repeating a doctor again, so you can't get mad at me because he has the damn MD in front of his name.
Does he have an MD? Is it an MD?
No, it's a medical doctor. He's a medical doctor, yeah.
Okay.
A 100% medical doctor. And he said that he has found two things that he has noticed. One is blood type, and two is he lives in a state where medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. That's so hard for me to say. It's a lot. Where smoking weed is legal, yo. That's a lot easier.
In layman's term.
In layman's term. You can just go in. You don't have to have a special card. You can just go in and make sure you're I think 21. Is that it? And yo, I'm 21. And they're like, yo, check out all my good herb. And he was basically saying that the majority of the patients, I'm talking about overly majority of the patients don't have a certain O, whatever the universal donor is. That's one of the things that's kind of
O positive.
Yeah, I think whatever that is. And then the other one was if you're people who are pot smokers, they say whatever it is that's in cannabinoids gets in your lungs and it's there for so long that it actually kind of helps blocks that six-sided virus from attaching to your lung. So it kind of actually helps. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying hey.
We have one report on it. One report.
Dude, he's an MD.
One report.
But you know what? If anybody that's going to say that it could help, it's an excuse for me to say, maybe I should smoke it. But you know what? I love all of y'all. And just in case y'all are smoking to make sure that you are staying safe from COVID-19, you might have the munchies. If you ever get something like that, or if you're just let's just say you're like Gabe and you eat more than I do. Not trying to be mean. I mean, he works out. I don't do very much. I'm talking a microphone. But he can put down a lot of food. But if I never mind, don't even worry about that. But if I'm ready to pound some serious grub, you know where to go in Memphis, right? There's one place that you always go. Smoke is their sauce. I shouldn't have to tell you much more about that. EatCBQ.com is their website. Yes, that's right. Central Barbecue. 4 amazing locations. You have downtown, right behind the Civil Rights Museum. You have the Bad Boy, the original from way back when, not far from the Liberty Bowl. Oh, yeah, right there on Central. That's the one, man. I love that one. The young people get over there. Then you got the summer one, man. It's got great, party rooms. Been there a million times as well. And then this new one right down the street on Poplar. My goodness, it's gorgeous. The people are so kind. It's just beautiful. But the one thing that you can always get at all 4 locations, the exact same cooking. The ribs are perfect. Their pulled shoulder is out of control. Their barbecue nachos. Oh my goodness. And then don't forget to save room for the banana pudding. The main thing is also remember this. Buy their meats in bulk. I mean, if you like to eat food, if you care about food, go ahead and buy a couple pounds of pulled chicken from Central Barbecue. Think about the time that you're going to save from going home and unthawing the chicken or whatever you have to do to make chicken, because I don't cook chicken. It looks like gigantic boogers when it's not cooked, so I will not do it. But when it's smoked, it's amazing. And guess what? Your girlfriend can't food poison you like when she tries to cook chicken and doesn't tell you. Because I got food poison last Sunday. Remember that?
I do.
And who did it? Honey.
I don't know, man.
Honey did it.
You can't assume.
I'm gonna
maybe
tell you
your
one thing.
stomach just has weird reactions to some of the spices she put on it.
No. I've never. She can cook all she wants if she uses Central Barbecue's ingredients. And I'll tell you one thing: I'll always come back stronger and healthier the next day. So you get your pulled, like their turkey. It's really smoked. It's delicious. Get your chicken. Get all your pulled. Get everything you need. And then don't forget to get a quarter banana pudding and feed it your son every Saturday and Sunday, and he'll be a happy kid for the rest of his life. Remember also to ship it anywhere in the good old 50 states. EatCBQ.com. That's Central Barbecue. They are simply the best. It's time for Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Gabe, I got a story to tell you, but I think you actually have something to tell us.
I do. It's okay. It's unfortunate for this person I'm about to bring up. It really is. But it is bizarre and slightly funny. Do you know who the New York Football Giants, you know who their kicker is?
No, I do not.
His name's Aldrick Rosas, okay? Obviously, off-season plan going on, and it's not going as planned for him. Yesterday, he got in a misdemeanor hit and run and driving on a suspended license. He was arrested and booked for it. Now, at 8:25, he got in a T-bone. I want you to guess, 8:25 a.m. or p.m.?
I would say p.m.
A.m., okay? 8:25 a.m., got in a T-bone, tried to drive away, and then in the process of driving away, he disabled his car in the process, then took off on foot. And by take off on foot, I mean literally he had no shoes on.
Whoa.
Took off from a T-bone.
No.
Tried to take off in his car.
No.
His car was disabled. Instead, he gets out of the car and sprints off with no shoes. Now, officers went to his house to try to find him. Of course, he was not there. He had ran off from his car with no shoes. So he was somewhere around the city at that time. Now, about 4 hours later, he was spotted on the side of the road. He was spotted on the side of the road, his hands, legs, and feet all covered in blood. Completely covered in blood. He had been running and walking all day barefoot. I don't know why his hands and feet, or his hands and his legs were covered in blood, but whatever. Needless to say, they think that he was impaired. What do you think? Are we talking high, drunk, or stupid?
Can I just tell you something? First, we're also going to talk
And by the way,
stupid, okay?
his contract that he signed this year, $3.3 million.
Wait a second, a kicker?
$3.3 million franchise tag.
Holy guacamole. You just blew away. Like, you're really going Antonio Brown and you're a kicker?
That's not Antonio. Antonio Brown doesn't even do that. What are you talking about?
No, you're right. He doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, you haven't made that type of money, but you're getting your first real big contract, and right when you get that bad boy, like Antonio Brown gets his big bad contract in Raidersville, and he goes to Las Vegas, and next thing you know, he loses his damn mind. Now, it was $31 million, but for a kicker getting $3 million, that's like Antonio Brown money.
My favorite part is the report that I read. It said, police believe that drugs or alcohol was part of it. Really? Do you think so? The guy got in a T-bone, tried to take off, and then took off on foot, barefoot, and stayed away from his house for 5 hours.
So okay, so did they...
This is a NFL player. This is a $3.3 million man walking on the street after getting in a wreck.
I got to know the truth right now. Did they give him a blood test? Did they give him a DUI? Like, is this man going to have to, are they going to, take, what's going to happen with him? Like,
all he got charged for, luckily, was misdemeanor hit and run and driving on a suspended license. Also,
hold on.
Why do you have a suspended license? Like, why?
He wasn't even supposed to be driving?
Why? I'm assuming they're probably going to have to give him reckless endangerment, something like that, because he was probably drunk. But they're going to have to prove that in court, right? Like, they have to prove that he was drunk and was impaired. But at the same time, all he walked away with yesterday was misdemeanor hit and run and driving on a suspended license.
I hate to say this. Is this a bad message?
If you kick for the Giants,
get out and run, disable your car, and just run like a mug, dog.
I just don't get it, man. You have a $3.3 million contract. If you're just not drunk at 8:25 in the morning and don't T-bone a guy at 8:25 in the morning and don't run off barefoot for 5 hours, you might be able to get through it. You really might. But being drunk at 8:25 in the morning or high or a mix of the two is probably not a good thing to do. I will just go ahead and say that as a general rule of thumb.
Wow. My stories don't even feel that good anymore.
They're good, man. They're good. Come on, have confidence in yourself.
Well, I mean, we should be. President Trump came out and said he's happy for Cap that he's going to get a second chance at the Chargers. I love that. I mean, that's not.
Wait, that happened?
No, he really did.
That happened.
He tweeted out, "I'm happy.
Wow.
I'm happy for Cap. He's getting a second chance."
I don't
know how to do Donald Trump. I would know how to. Can you do it?
No.
I
I know. I can't. I know people that can do it really well.
I don't really. I think everybody thinks they can do everything well, and they just really are bad.
No, I'm saying there's some people that have good impressions.
Yeah, like the dude on Frank Caliendo, but after him, everybody.
What about that Joey Molinaro guy from Barstool?
He's not bad. You're right, actually. You know what? Good point. That's actually pretty
But really,
good point.
President Trump
came out and said he's happy, but now here's what I want to mention.
Congratulating Kaepernick.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked on that, but I want to ask you this.
Pretty shocking.
This is where I'm more shocked. Do you believe Anthony Lynn when he told reporters that he thinks Colin definitely fits the style of quarterback for their system that they're going for? Now, does it also, if that's the style of system they're going for, does it question their draft pick?
That is a great question.
I
mean, what they have right now, Tyrod Taylor, I just don't know, man. Is that really the quarterback that fits their system?
Okay, I ask you, because it's Herbert, and I won't say Bear, but if Justin Herbert is your first round, if he's the 6th overall pick, and you have my man, and this, T-Mobile, by the way, Tyrod Taylor, T-Mobile is what I like to call him because he likes to run, do his thing. He is a very mobile quarterback who plays from the pocket. I think Justin Herbert is a mobile quarterback, but he's huge, plays from the pocket, can make all the throws. It's not quite as accurate as I've come to expect. Cap has the longest windup since Byron Leftwich.
Does not play from the pocket.
And he doesn't play from the pocket, and he runs all over the place. So again, what offense, Anthony, are you going for? Because I just want you to know, by this interview, I am so damn confused. Now, if you just want to admit we had no fans in the stands, and Cap will sell us fans, and he's a great bridge to, Justin Herbert, or he'll be a great backup because we need Herbert to learn to T-Mobile behind T-Mobile, because T-Mobile, I think he deserves to start also in the league. I don't know. I haven't seen Cap play in forever. And remember, the Niners weren't great. My point of what I'm trying to say is does this feel more public relations than Is this
actual
more,
fact? Because I don't know
if
Kaepernick does not seem like a guy that's literally fits his so-called system, and I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah, is there substance here, or is this just basically let me blow some smoke up the keister of these people to appease them?
No, I think he genuinely does think Cap could be a good fit. I mean, he could be a good fit for a backup for a lot of teams, but I don't get the thought process of him being exactly what you're looking for in a quarterback in the system he wants to run, based on who you have right now. Because you went and got Justin Herbert. Theoretically, that would be the guy that fits your system. And Justin Herbert and Colin Kaepernick are not the same. I will go ahead and make that distinction right now.
Now, last night, I know people don't watch this very much. I'm going to just suggest this before I go on and talk about one other thing. Did y'all watch MLB Network with Harold Reynolds, and basically all of them talking to basically players that play baseball? And it was basically, being black in baseball in America. It was a panel. It was moderated by Harold Reynolds of MLB Network. It included a lot of people: MLB educational consultant Sharon Robinson, first base Josh Bell. But for me, I guess what I'm trying to say is what stuck out hardcore for me is Arizona Diamondbacks right-hand pitcher John Duplanter. Go and watch him talk about what it was like for him growing up. Watch him, what it's like for him to pitch, and just listen to him. And again, listen. It is a very powerful story. If I tell you the story, it will not be as powerful.
Okay.
But if you go and watch this, I promise you, it's on Twitter. Just go to MLB, like at MLB. He's right there on Twitter. And again, it's one of the more powerful stories. But I just know that once I say it, I take something away from it. I suggest you go watch it.
I'm disappointed in you.
Why?
Mark Grace. You didn't bring up Mark Grace today.
I was going to bring up Gracie at the very end, and a guy who throws 105 miles an hour.
Okay.
So you know what I would do? I wouldn't even think about touching that dial because I got Mark Grace, and you won't believe it, but there's a pitcher who throws 105 miles an hour, and he's like he's 20 years old, yo. Yeah, he's a lefty too. Whatever you do, don't think about the dial, but also think about this. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. You call Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. House is sold. During this break, by the time I get back to tell you about Mark Grace and a pitcher throws 105 miles an hour, you'll already be on the way to closing your house because it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. Nothing, I don't got to say anything else. Just call Bill at I Buy Houses. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more. R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Foot odor throwing off your game? Stick to a winning game plan with Odor Eaters. Featuring 3 advanced odor and wetness fighters, the lineup provides long-lasting odor control plus more to keep your feet on their game. Odor Eaters powder provides outstanding moisture control. Clear drying spray is the MVP in preventing athlete's foot, while insoles work continuously to manage wetness while adding a layer of comfort. Pick up today at Walmart, Target, CVS, Dollar General, and other fine retailers. Odor Eaters destroy foot odor with the best in odor defense.
Hey, clones, you've heard me talk about Walmart delivery before, but now Walmart has the fastest delivery service yet. Walmart Express Delivery. Get groceries and more delivered from their door to yours with no contact delivery in 2 hours or less. Zero markups. Same low price as in-store. Don't let work, kids, an at-home workout, or whatever else life throws at you right now get in the way of getting what you need when you need it. Try Walmart Express Delivery today. Restrictions and fees do apply.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. How old is your water heater? With most of the water heaters in the Mid-South located in the attic, the worst day you can replace your water heater is one day too late. It may be time for a tankless water heater from Conway Services that never runs out of hot water. Plus, these energy-saving models only heat the water you use, saving you money on your gas bill every month. Most 10-year-old water heaters were about 65% efficient when they were new, compared to a tankless water heater from Conway Services is up to 98% efficient. Plus, right now, get your tankless water heater from Conway Services for as low as $79 per month, or I'll give you $300 for that old tank water heater. And no more worrying about that tank bursting in your attic either. And with over 8,000 5-star reviews, you know Google guaranteed Conway Services will be providing that award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier tankless water heater professionals at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old water heater will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, yo, yo! Welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Wolo and Stats, they're going to come on next. They're going to drive you home from 3 to 6. Yes, we're going to hear a lot from Wolo because I know he's got to be excited. We got a new running back, J.P. Martin. Dude's top in his class. He's a baller shot caller. You know we got
By we,
linemen.
you mean University of Memphis. Too.
Yes, I'm sorry. I figure once I say Wolo, the voice of the Tigers, most everybody on 560 knows that we're talking about my man Gabe Kuhn's team, the Memphis Tigers. Ryan Silverfield, he's got those boys going in the right direction. They're up there like even higher than when Norvell was here. It seems like it's pretty awesome. Very happy for it. But now it's time to talk about Mark Grace and steroids. And I got to say, I talked about Mark Grace, and I've always loved Mark Grace. So Mark Grace was a Memphis Tiger. I was a Memphis Tiger. Mark Grace played for the Cubs. I loved Ryan Sandberg and Mark Grace and Harry Carey. And you just liked that whole situation. And, of course, 98 with Sosa and McGuire, magical. But Mark Grace, actually, did y'all know he was asked why he didn't do steroids? Gabe Kuhn, do you know why I said I never did steroids?
Did it have to do with while your body is going to grow in a lot of parts, you were worried about the part that might shrink, right?
Yes, and that's exactly what Mark Grace literally said to a reporter this week, and it was the funniest answer. And he's like, yo, only reason I avoided steroids is because when I went on dates with women, I was scared of shrinkage. It prevented me from ever doing any of that stuff. He's like, heck, I didn't even use batting gloves.
That's good stuff.
I love Mark Grace, and that's one of the funniest things. Then I just want to say one more thing that's very important. Cubs-wise, did you hear about the guy that the Cubs drafted who can throw literally, this is not a joke, 105 miles an hour? His name is Luke Little. He is not even 20 yet. He's about to be 20. He's 19 years old. I think I might have mentioned a little bit about him, but after seeing him in action at 6 feet, 8 inches tall,
wow,
19 years old, and he was 105 miles an hour, and my catcher, my man sitting back there, like, dude, you know how your hands feeling after catching this big old guy? Because
horrible.
You ain't catching everything, because he's still a little bit, he's still a little loose, you know what I'm saying?
He's a little wild?
He's a little wild.
I got to ask you a question. Don't you get scared of arm problems when you throw that hard? Like, if you throw that hard,
hell yeah.
Tommy John
hell yes.
just seems like inevitable.
You're like, that's why like Tommy John works, because you take another like UCLA that's, you know, for a stronger body part, and you put it in your elbow. You know what I mean? Like, your elbow ain't supposed to put on that much torque, yo. But anyway, if you don't know, don't even listen to me. I'm not trying to teach you baseball surgery or Tommy John, but I will tell you, yeah, if you're 6'8", throwing 105, I might be like, damn, this dude needs to like, hey, 100's cool, homie. Go 90. Like, throw 90% of your power. You don't have to throw 105. 98, 99, you're good, brother. That's flying, brother. That's flying. But no, for real, remember Luke Little. I think we will see him very soon if we ever see baseball. And the reason I mention that is Buster Lonely, who's basically had nothing positive to say in a long time, finally sent it out. So now I believe it even more. Gabe tried to tell me. He says now that this is the one thing that's different from earlier. The owners say that they will agree to a 60-game season, full prorated pay. MLB Players Association says they will agree to that too. They will work out the playoffs. But this meeting with Tony Clark and Rob Manfred, they say, has set the framework of a deal. Now, this is the first time I can say Buster Only has actually had any positive news about baseball. So maybe we're going in the right direction. But I always want to remind you of one thing. Right direction is Brian Elder. Yes, I've told you about BrianElderRoofing.com. Roofing can be scary. Roofing is an essential emergency, but I'm going to tell you what's even scarier. Water damage to your house. When that water starts coming in your house, I am dealing with water damage. You got to deal. You have to have a person come in there. They like stick these machines. They check the humidity. Then they bring in these other machines. They tear up all your floor. Then they do a micro scrub to kill like any fungus or mold or whatever. It is a nightmare. So remember, take care of your house from the top down, baby. Make sure your roof is okay. Don't let it to where it's already seeing water damage. Call 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. My buddy Brian Elder and Chris Price have teamed up to give you the the most amazing service and best roofing company, period. Commercial, residential, it doesn't matter. Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. I'm telling you, you'll love them. BrianElderRoofing.com. We'll be back tomorrow. Coming up next, Wolo and Stats. Telling you, you're going to be proud of Ryan Silverfield. They're doing great. But for Gabe, I'm John. Get out there and make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Farmers Insurance